All right, thank you, everybody. So this is our load pipe. This is our eighth group buy, eighth week. It's since the COVID hasn't, kind of pushed all of us to change our businesses and our lives a bit. So we put this together. It's an idea of group buying to help
2
people.
months.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months. So I think, at least for me, it started at the end of March 2020, right when I got into quarantine in Shenzhen, or actually Shenyang, China. Everybody's of course talking about masks, and our community, at Global from Asia with our cross-border summit, a lot of people are in this import-export field, and a lot of our community groups and WeChats and social media emails started filling up with masks and PPE products. So we had this idea on the shelf for a long time to kind of help people aggregate their orders together to then buy from the supplier as one. And we've been through quite a journey. There's been honestly, it's not been as smooth as we want it to be, but it's part of the process, and we've been listening to all the feedback. And today's our eighth group buy, and we have with us Cindy. Cindy, you might know in some of our WeChat group, are some of the WeChat groups, in the community. Also with Chris Davey, FBA for You. We've kind of joined forces a bit, and he has a great group for the COVID-19 issues, and I got to know Cindy in that group, and I think a lot of people have gotten to know her as well over the last couple of months. So I'm really happy to have today's session where we are going to talk about her products that she's working on. So we listed these in the Loadpipe system. If you're not yet a user, it's still a closed beta, so it's not public. You have to have a username and password. You can apply. It's currently free, so definitely it's a benefit to signing up now. We might charge to join in the future. So if you are not yet a member, it would be a good idea to just register while it's still free as a benefit for you as an early user. And inside you can see her current product. So it's KN95s. We'll talk about this a little bit more with her. She's on the call today. So I'll wait for her to share about it. But she also puts one of her videos. She's in the factory. This is her name and her. So you could also, we want this to be a more social kind of environment for people to get to know the person and the company that they're working with. You can read about the terms. I have some questions for her. You can also, if you're on the call today, you can also ask her some questions. And we're consolidating this order together for as small of a quantity as 1,200 pieces. But the more we sell, the lower the price will be for those in that group buy. So the idea is we all win if we all order together. And then also what we've noticed in the last couple of months is we can get to know each other in the group buy. So we could also make a group for you. We use WeChats, or of course we could do email or the Loadpipe system, so you can talk to other people in the group buy and consolidate shipping together. So one thing we'll talk about today also is how we can ship together. I know shipping has been a big headache for everybody, so we're also working on consolidating shipping for people to help with that hurdle. So I think I prefer this to be more interactive, so I'm really happy that Cindy's joined us. So let's turn. I will be kind of like as a host, as I usually am with Global from Asia. I'm gonna just turn it over to Cindy. Cindy, do you mind introducing a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I'm actually, like, to be honest, just like everyone else, I'm new to this PPE as well since like March. I never thought I'm gonna be doing this like before February actually. And hello? Yeah, my phone. It's just like I have less than 20% of battery, but it's okay. So and then when I was like thinking of to start, because I have my past job, my ex-boss, she's like from the factory area, and it's like a well-known person. And then so she introduced me to this factory who can actually let me to pretty trust me. Like they let me to order things first and then pay them back. So they gave me a contract like pay them back in 60 days, So including shipping, everything. So there's no other factory in China can let me to do this. They trust me. They know my boss, and my boss know me, what kind of person I am. So that's how I flew all the way to Henan and get everything started.
Yeah.
And then the more I get involved, the more I know about how they got the raw material, and then what's the difference between 90 plus, 95 plus, and 89. And then I was in meeting of the dealers who are selling those raw materials, and I know how they work every day. So every single step, kind of, I saw them in the factory. So that's just like everything for me more real, other than talking to the middle guys and then, or just talking to factories, but without really being there. So I'm like very like want to be in control of everything. So I have to go there in person to check my production. So everything starts from there.
Great. I think we can get into it in a little bit, but I think, while you say you just got into this, like all of this in February or March, I think even before that you've been doing, maybe not PPE, but you do have experience in import export. Maybe you can share a little bit about.
I do. I moved back from New York City in 2015, and I started to do my business like from that time, like domestically and then international a little bit, but it's only in latest apparel. I just trade whatever I like to. I mean, I'm a designer as well. I was doing like a costume design in New York City, in Manhattan, in Queens. I studied theater actually, so nothing is more like arts on our side. And then so I got my license of international like export import in 2017. And I had a little bit more knowledge when I'm working for someone. I mean, I took a break actually after 2018. I worked for a company in Shenzhen, but I also working for someone in New York City part-time as a sourcing person. So that's how I get some B2B experience. And I have this company in Guangzhou, as well as I registered my own company in Long Island, New York in 2017 summer. So yeah, that's what I'm doing before, what I was doing before PPE.
Yeah, it's really, thank you for sharing all that. And just to add to, I've also got to know you. It was in Kansas. I'm sorry, I forget the state, but you studied in college in the U.S., right? You also studied in the U.S., Nebraska.
I heard there's more than one person talking, so it's like.
I'll mute the person. Sorry to mute you, but it was a little bit of background noise. So Cindy, I was just saying, like, you studied in the U.S. as well, right? I remember Nebraska, I think.
Right, Nebraska, in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. Yep.
So it's obviously your English is really good, and you obviously are Chinese. Chinese.
Not as good as you, but thank you.
Well, you're Chinese, obviously. You're native Chinese, which is an advantage.
Yeah, thank you.
So much better than my Chinese, for sure. So yeah, we've been getting to know each other the last couple of months, and so you already kind of mentioned it, but let's talk about the factory. So yeah, I really appreciate you being transparent. Yeah. You're not the factory, but you are have a really good relationship, and they've even extended terms, and it's in Henan, right? Henan or Hunan?
Yeah, right. Henan, like the Midwest of China.
Yeah. So usually the pricing there is obviously usually a little bit better than, South China or some other parts of China, right?
Yeah, but it also depends on what like what things they use, and then how big size it is for the factory. But usually in general, that is the fact.
Okay. So you went there in it was like a month ago now, I think. The time's been flying for me at least. So you went there in person. You've been to a few, at least it felt like a week because we were chatting since then. So
before then, but I was there early in May.
In May, yep.
For over 2 weeks actually, for like half a month.
Okay. Yeah, and so I could share my screen again, but you guys can look at the listing. We'll link it up in the chat, but basically these are KN95s. They're also making other. So what are they making now? Maybe share about what they're doing, like what they're producing.
Okay, so they are on the white list of China. They're on the Chinese white list as a medical disposal 3-ply. And they also have KN95 non-medical level, which is a civil grade, and they have the disposable 3-ply, which is the civil grade as well. So 3 main products they're doing, and then they've been exporting to France, Europe, and then USA for a lot of medical 3-plies.